Good morning, students. As yesterday we have discussed about the sensitivity of potentiometer and solve some of the numericals and examples of this chapter, and most of the numericals are based on the KVL, Kirchhoff's law, that you are facing doubts or problem in that numericals. So I hope that you are able to understand how to solve the numericals with the help of the KVL or how to solve the complicated circuits. Okay, and yesterday we have discussed all the things about sensitivity. So the introduction, principle, construction, working and precautions, all these things regarding the potentiometer we have discussed in our all the previous chapters, and I have told you that the syllabus for the online test which we are going to be conduct may be in the next week, and the syllabus for that is chapter number 4, 5 and 6 till sensitivity of potentiometer, which I have told you in yesterday's video. Okay, clear? Now start with the new topic, the uses of potentiometer. These uses of potentiometer, there are 3 uses of potentiometer. Okay, means how by the help of potentiometer how we are able to find, determine the things, the physical quantities. Okay, so for that uses we are going to discuss here, and even these uses are the parts of your practicals or your experiments also in the physics lab. So just learn or study about all these uses carefully. So our first uses of potentiometer is determination of internal resistance of a primary cell. Okay, what we have to determine? We have to determine the internal resistance of a primary cell, means the value of small r of the primary cell. The primary cell means the cell which is used in this primary circuit. And how many times I have told you that in the primary circuit always will remain same. If any of the changes occur, they will be occur in the secondary circuit, not in the primary circuit. So in the primary circuit, A, B having the connection with the primary cell of EMF EP, key K1, rheostat RH. Clear? Now here a circuit is there for the determination of internal resistance of a primary cell. Here 10 meter long wire AB is there. Through this AB, we have already discussed about the precaution that the cells which are using in the potentiometer, the positive terminal of a cell is always be connected with the A point only. So here the primary circuit will be the same with the A, positive terminal of primary cell EP, and negative with the key K1, then rheostat, and then the B point is connected. With this A point, another one cell of a secondary cell is connected. Along with that, in a parallel combination, one resistance box is there. Here is another key K2, then galvanometer, and then jockey. This is your jockey. Clear? Now, in this circuit arrangement, a primary circuit is made up by joining a battery of EMF EP, rheostat RH, and a plug key K1 in a series with the potentiometer wire. To make the secondary, positive terminal of a cell whose internal resistance is to be measured is connected with the higher potential of A. Higher potential of A of the potentiometer wire, and negative terminal to the sliding through the jockey. Clear? Now, through the galvanometer, a resistance box and a plug key K2 is connected parallel to the cell. Okay, they are connected parallel to the cell. So these are the construction of the internal resistance of a primary cell, and the construction of this circuit have to be write by your own. Okay, you have to be write the construction in your own language. I have told you about it. Clear? Now move towards the working. Now what we have to do? First of all, we have to be plug in the key K2, the K1 is closed and K2 will remain open. Means we are on the switch K1 and off to key K2. Okay. Now balance point we have to be obtained by sliding the jockey and the wire AB of 10 meter long wire. Okay. What we have to do? We have to be first make a closed circuit with the primary only and remain the second circuit should be open one by switch off the key K2 or plug the key K2 in open loop. Clear? Now afterwards, as we have got our balancing length by the jockey, that will be your L1. Okay. Now if the potential gradient which we have acquired is X, then according to the formula of potentiometer, what will be the formula? E is equals to X L1. Clear? E is equals to X L1. Now in a second time, what we have to do? The primary circuit will remain the same. Means we will not change any of the thing, any configuration in the primary circuit. Means if the key is closed, then it will be remain closed. Okay. And afterwards we will close the key K2 also. Okay. In a first condition, this K2 will remain open. Now afterwards we have just get the balancing length L1, then K2 will become closed. Okay. And a resistance box is inserted in the resistance R is inserted in the resistance box. Okay. Means we have to pick out one of the value of the resistance from the resistance box. The potential drop across the resistance box is balanced by the potentiometer wire, and the balancing length L2 is obtained with the help of the sliding the jockey J. Okay. First, as we have made this circuit, primary circuit closed and the secondary circuit open, then we have acquired the balancing length L1 by sliding the jockey J on AB potentiometer wire. Okay. Now in the second condition, we are not changing any of the configuration in a primary circuit and just make the secondary circuit also close. So and pick out one of the resistance from the resistance box, and the potential drop will be there across the resistance box, and now we will acquire the new balancing length due to this process by sliding the jockey J on the wire of potentiometer AB, and we will get that balancing length L2. Okay. Now here the L1 is due to the EMF of this cell and L2 is due to the potential drop across the RB. So for L1 the formula is E equals to XL1, and for L2 it will be V equals to XL2, because here is the potential drop due to the resistance. Always we remember, if there is any potential drop to the cell, then we will consider it EMF E, and if it is due to the resistance, then it will be always be voltage V. Clear? So for the first, E equals to XL1, for the second V equals to XL2. Okay. Now simply we have to put the formula. I just told you the working also and construction also. Construction you have to be right by your own, and working I have already written here. So just take a look about the working what I have written. First of all, by keeping plug K2 open, balance point is obtained by sliding the jockey. Let the balancing length in this case be L1. If the potential gradient is X, then according to the principle of potentiometer, E equals to XL1. This is due to the primary circuit. Okay, there is no any resistance is there, an external resistance. Okay. Now next, without changing the configuration of the primary circuit, plug key K2 is closed and some resistance R is inserted in the resistance box. Okay, the potential drop across V across the resistance box is balanced on the potentiometer wire, and the balancing length L2 is obtained with the help of the sliding jockey J. Now here we are having a potential drop. So for this L2, V equals to XL2. Equation number 2. Now we know if the small r is the internal resistance of the cell and I is the current through the resistance R, then this formula we have all discussed in our previous chapter number 5, electric current. E is equals to V plus IR in the relation between EMF terminal voltage and internal resistance. So from here, what we have to find? We have to find the internal resistance of a primary cell. So R is equals to E minus V upon R equals to E minus V upon I. Okay. Now the formula will become R is equals to E minus V upon I. Now we, according to the Ohm's law, V is equals to I, then I equals to V upon R. So put the value of I in that formula. So it will become R equals to E minus V upon V into R. Equation number 3. Now we have both the values. We have the value of EMF also. We have the value of potential difference also from equation 1 and 2. Okay. So put the value of E and V from equation 1 and 2 in equation 3. Then R equals to E XL1 minus V XL2 upon V XL2 R. Okay. So R equals to XL1 minus XL2 upon XL2 into R. X and X will be cancelled out. So your value will be R is equals to L1 minus L2 upon L2 into R. This is your equation number 4. Okay. This is your equation number 4. Now, as we have just calculated the value of L1 and L2 by two different conditions. So by substituting the value of L1 and L2, internal resistance of a primary cell can be determined. And for varying the values of R from the resistance box, different values of L2 recorded and corresponding values of R are calculated. Okay, L1 will always be remain same. Only the L2 value has been changed because we have to be inserted the resistance from the resistance box of different value. So for the different values of a resistance from the resistance box, the different balancing length L2 we will acquire, and according to this the value of internal resistance has been changed. Clear? So we see that in all observation the values of R is different. That is, internal resistance depends on the current drawn from the cell. Thus, while measuring the internal resistance, we should not take the average of the values of R. Okay, we will not even take the average of the values of R. We must state that the internal resistance varies between minimum value this and maximum value this. Okay, in the other experiment, in the last, after taking 4 to 5 readings, what we have to take the average of all that values. But here, for different values of resistance from the resistance box, different values of L2 we acquire, and from that different values of internal resistance we have calculated. For that, we will not even take the average values of the value of R. What we have to do, we have to be simply state that this is the minimum value and this is the maximum value. That's it. Clear? This is all about determination of internal resistance from the primary cell. Okay. Now, moving forward, so now the second uses of potentiometer is comparison of electromotive force of two cells. Okay, here we have connected two cells of different values, and we have to calculate or compare the value of EMF of these cells. Clear? So this is your circuit arrangement. A wire of length 10 meter long is AB. The primary circuit will remain the same as usual. Positive terminal is connected to the end point of A. Okay, EP is the primary cell, negative is with the key K1, and here the rheostat RH, and the another end with the B point. This will be remain as same in all the circuits of potentiometer. Now here we have to connect two cells. Okay, and as we have told you that we are doing the comparisons of the electromotive cells of two cells. So here we are just taking the two cells, and both the positive terminals of both the cells are there connected with the point A only. Now the negative will be there with the two-way key. Okay, here we are using two-way key. Okay, when we want to use only the cell E1, then we will close 1 and 2, 2 and 3 will remain open, and we want to only take the value of E2, then 2 and 3 will become closed, 1 and 2 will become open only. Okay, with the 2 is the mid point of this two-way key which is connected with the galvanometer. This will be there with both the keys. Okay, galvanometer further with the jockey J, acquire the balancing length L. Clear? This is all about the key. So in this, the primary circuit is made up of the same as usual. Okay, and the positive terminals of both the cells whose EMF are to be compared are connected to the higher voltage, that is A, of the potentiometer wire. The negative terminals of these cells are connected with the terminals of 1 and 3 of a two-way key. Terminal 2, A2 of the two-way key is connected with the jockey along with the galvanometer. Okay, so same here, the construction you have to be write by your own. Okay, you have to be write the construction in your own language. I have explained entire things in the circuit diagram. Now moving towards the working of this comparison of EMF of two cells. First of all, what we have to be switch on the primary circuit as usual. Why we are always switch on the primary circuit only and the remaining secondary circuit will be switch off? Why we are doing this? Just simply we have to be acquire the balancing length, and through that we can easily get the value of potential gradient. Okay, so afterwards the potential gradient will become uniform through the primary circuit. Okay, so first of all we have to be switch on the primary circuit and inserting the plug of a key K1. Now inserting the terminal, we acquire the value. Okay, now insert the plug terminals between 1 and 2 of the two-way key. Okay, and afterwards we have to determine the balancing length L1 by sliding the jockey over the potentiometer wire of the cell of EMF E1. Okay, so we will get the value E1 equals to XL1. Okay, now without disturbing the primary circuit, remove the plug between the point 1 and 2 and insert the plug between the 2 and 3 or two-way key. And now again we are determining the value of balancing length L2 by sliding the jockey over the potentiometer wire of the other cell E2. And now we get the value E2 equals to XL2. Clear? So here the working is, first of all, switch on the primary circuit by inserting the plug of key K1. Now insert the plug between terminals 1 and 2 of the two-way key and determine the balancing length L1. By sliding the jockey over the potentiometer wire for the cell of EMF E1, E1 equals to XL. Equation number 1. Now remove the plug between 1 and 2 and insert the plug between terminals 2 and 3 of the two-way key and determine the balancing length of L2 by sliding jockey over the potentiometer wire for the other cell of EMF E2. Okay, so E2 equals to XL2, equation number 2. Clear? So on dividing we have acquired both the values E1 and E2. Now here we have to be compare these values. So on dividing equation 1 by equation 2 we get E1 upon E2 equals to XL1 upon XL2. Okay, so E1 upon E2 is equals to L1 upon L2. Hence the ratio of the EMF of the cell is equal to the ratio of the corresponding balancing length. Whatever be the ratio of the balancing length, that will be the value of the ratio of the EMF also. Okay, by changing the value of a resistance of the rheostat in the primary circuit, okay, means changing the value of the potential gradient, as due to the value of the primary circuit, the potential gradient will remain same. But if you are change the value of the rheostat, slide the rheostat slightly, then the value of the potential gradient is also changed. Various values of the balancing length L1 and L2 are obtained. Okay, as we are changing the value of potential gradient. Okay, and obtained in this way the ratios of E1 and E2 are calculated and the mean value is reported. In this what we have to do, we have to be afterwards calculate the mean value. Okay, and in this experiment of comparison of EMF of two cells, no need to do the standardization. Okay, simply we have to calculate the value, no need to do any kind of standardization. Now there is a note that in experiment always the Lekelanki cell is taken as your first cell in a secondary circuit, okay, and Daniell cell as the second cell of your secondary circuit. Okay, the two cells which we have to be compare the values are there, the Lekelanki cell and the Daniell cell. Okay, Lekelanki cell is your first cell of EMF E1 and Daniell cell is your second cell of EMF E2. Clear? Now if one of the cell is your standard cell, then the EMF of the second cell can be calculated by using the following formula. Suppose your E1 is your standard cell, which value you are well known about that. So you have to find the value of E2 only. So for that E2, what you have to do? How you are able to find the value of E2? Simple as that. From equation number 3, E2 is equals to L2 upon L1 multiply by E1. Okay, when your E1 is your standard cell, then only we will apply this formula. Clear? Okay. Now third use we will do in our next lecture. Now here we are solving a numerical related to these formulas. Okay. Here the numerical. Okay. A battery of EMF 2 volt and internal resistance 2 ohm is connected in the primary circuit of the potentiometer of wire of length 10 meter and resistance is your 10 ohm. Okay, and the EMF of a primary cell is balanced at 5 meter length of potentiometer wire. When a current of 0.1 ampere is drawn from the cell, then the terminal voltage of the cell is balanced at the length of 4 meter of potentiometer wire. Find the internal resistance of the cell. What you have to find here? You have to find the value of internal resistance of the cell. So first of all, we have to write all the given values so we can easily apply the formulas. So here the resistance value has been given of a 10 ohm, length is given, that is of a 10 meter, EMF of primary cell is there of 2 volt, okay, and one more thing is there, find the internal resistance of the cell. Okay, one of the cell has been internal resistance has been given, that is of a 2 ohm. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to find the value of potential gradient. So for that potential gradient, the formula is EP upon R plus R into R upon L. Okay, so simply we have to put the formulas. 2 upon 10 plus 2, 10 upon 10. Okay, so 10 and 10 cancel out. So here x equals to 2 upon 12. Okay, and that will be your 1 upon 6. So this value will be 0.17 volt per meter. This is the value of a potential gradient. But what you have to calculate here? You have to be calculate the internal resistance of a cell. So internal resistance of a cell is R is equals to E minus V upon I. Okay, and right now we have just be having that formula. E is equals to X L1 X L2 and the value of I is beta 0.1 ampere and L1 is your 5 meter, L2 is your 4 meter. Put all these values. Okay, so here R is equals to, take as X as a common, L1 minus L2 upon R. The value of X we have already calculated, 0.17. 5 minus 4 divided by 0.1. So R is equals to 0.17 into 1 upon 0.1. So your answer will be 1.7 ohm. According to the formula, you have to be calculate the values. Here, the value which you have to be calculate is internal resistance of a cell. But the first thing which you have to be remember, that without calculating the value of the potential gradient, you are not be able to find the value of internal resistance of the cell. So first you have to be apply the formula to calculating the value of potential gradient, and afterwards you have to be calculate the value of potential gradient and put that value in the formula of internal resistance of a cell. Clear? So that you can easily get through this. Okay. Now moving towards our next numerical, and this numerical I have already given you for your homework. I hope that you are able to solve that, and even if you are facing any problem, so here I am just giving you the solution of this numerical. Now the question is, in a Wheatstone bridge, the branch resistance are shown in the following circuit diagram. What will be the value of X in balancing condition of the Wheatstone bridge? And your diagram is here. So solution of this question, first of all we have to draw the diagram. Okay, so diagram is like this. The four resistances are there in the balanced condition in the form of Wheatstone bridge. Okay, and there is one more resistance connected in parallel with this. In the center there is a galvanometer, and with that EMF of E and K is connected. Okay, this is of your K, plus minus EMF of E. Current is going from this to this, I and I. This is your point A, this will be your point B, and then C and D. Resistances are like that, of your 100 ohm, of your 10 ohm, 5 ohm. This is of your 100 ohm, and this is of your X. Now you have to find the value of X in this. Now the most important thing which is given in the question, that you have to find the value of X. Find the value of X. Okay, but the condition applied that this Wheatstone bridge is there in a balancing condition. So according to this balancing condition, we having some formulas for the Wheatstone bridge. Okay, so that we have to be applied here. So according to Wheatstone bridge balancing condition, P upon Q is equals to R upon S. Means the ratios of the ratio arms are always be equal. This is your balancing condition in the Wheatstone bridge, isn't it? Now this is your P, this is your Q, this one is your R, and this one is your S. Okay, so we have to be applied. So first of all we have to be resolve this one R. Both are there in a parallel combination. Okay, so 100 ohm, between terminal A and D, 100 ohm and X are in parallel combination. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to apply the formula. So for parallel combination, 1 upon R is equals to 1 upon 100 plus 1 upon X. Okay, so from here, X plus 100 upon 100 X. Okay, so R is equals to 100 X upon X plus 100. Okay, now we have to be put all the values in equation 1. Okay, so your equation 1, put the values. P is of your 100 ohm, Q is of your 10 ohm, R is 100 X upon X plus 100, and upon S is of your 5 ohm. Resolve this. 10 100x 5x plus 500. 5 into x 5x plus 5 into 100 500. Cross multiply. Then 5x plus 500 is equals to 100x. So 50x plus 5000 is equals to 100x. So 100x minus 50x is equals to 5000. I am just here solving the another one. Okay, so this 50x is equals to 5000 and x is equals to 5000 upon 50. So x is equals to of 100 ohm. This is your another answer. Okay, so I hope that this question is so simple as that. It was a simple question as compared to the another question, because in this the conditions apply that the Wheatstone bridge is there in a balancing condition. So the half of the question is solved in that point only. That if it was in a balanced condition, then P upon Q is equals to R upon S. The balancing condition ratios we already know. So simply we have to put all these values and calculate the value of X. So your answer is 100 ohm. Okay. So this is all about our today's numerical. Okay. Now move towards our today's homework. So here the first question is, in a potentiometer experiment, the balancing length for cell of EMF 1.25 volt is 4.25 meter. The balancing length with another cell is obtained at 6.80 meter. Determine the EMF of cell. Okay, so in the potentiometer experiment, the balancing length of the cell of the EMF is this. At this was the EMF and this was the balancing length. The balancing length with another cell is obtained by this. What you do, you determine the value of EMF of the cell. Simple as that. Okay, and I hope you are able to solve this numerical. Now the second numerical is in a potentiometer experiment, the balancing length for two cells of EMF E1 and E2, E1 is greater than E2, connected in series is observed as 60 centimeter. On reversing the position of terminals of one cell of smaller EMF in the arrangement of experiment, the new balancing length is observed as 20 centimeter. Find the ratio of EMFs E1 ratio E2 of the cells. Okay, so in a potentiometer experiment, the balancing length of two cells of EMF E1 and E2, conditions apply, E1 is greater than E2, connected in a series is observed as 60 centimeter. On reversing the positional terminals of one cell of a smaller EMF in the arrangement of experiment, the new balancing length is observed as 20 centimeter. Find the ratios of EMFs E1 upon E2 of the cell. Okay, so you have to find the ratios of the EMFs. Okay, so this is all about your today's homework. So these two numericals you have to be solved, and as I just told you that in the next week that you are having your online test and syllabus I have told you, and same as that every subject teacher had told you the syllabus of your online test, and if you don't able to get that, then you may easily contact to me and or even to the subject teacher. And in that online test you are having 25 questions, 15 MCQs and 10 true false type questions are there. Okay, and for that you have to be having a particular time period. Before that time period and after that the paper will not be open for you. Okay, as for the online test you have to be sit and on the exact time before 10 minutes you just be open your site, open the app and be prepared, be ready for the online test, so that no any buffering and no any network poor connections will being an obstacle for you for your online test and between you. Okay, and now we are just deciding that only on a one day, one subject test we are conducting, so you can easily get the time for your revision. Okay, and always you are habitual of giving the subjective type question answers, but this time we are having online test, and which was completely about your objective type questions, and you are having 25 questions for 1 hour. Okay, time period for your test paper is 1 hour. Okay, for one subject. So 25 questions has been solved in 1 hour. So be careful. Okay, the rough notebooks and whatever stationery materials that you want, you have to be take with your own. Okay, in a previously. Otherwise, on that time, the time is running, and if you are be in a hurry to solve, so any of the calculation in the hurriness, you will be do wrong. So your entire answer in a physics, chemistry, or in a math, that was those subject who was a numerical portion, numerical based subject, you will be get the wrong answer, so your question will be wrong. So be careful about that. Just take your all the stationery material along with you when you are sitting for giving the exam, as like in your examination hall you are sitting. Okay, so be with preparation, all the preparation you have to be sit in the exam. I hope you are able to understand. Now this is the time that you have to be revise your syllabus also. So just revise the syllabus, and in that syllabus of 2.5 chapter number 4, 5 and 6 up to the sensitivity of potentiometer, you have having any doubt, any problem, then you may ask directly by contact me or through this app also. Just write your doubt on the doubt counter. Okay, clear? Thank you. That's all for today.